this edition of Elections by the Numbers, we're going to look at recent polling from Morning Consult showing Trump's approval rating in every state. So it's a prediction more about if the election were held today. Disclaimer, these polls were taken during the government shutdown, so his poll numbers are much lower than I think they really will be if there were an election, and it's against a generic, unnamed Democrat, and obviously we don't vote for generic candidates. So from the top, I'm going to mark them solid red if they're 50% or higher, and it'll be solid blue if they're equal to 45% or lower. Okay, so Alabama, he's at 58%. That's pretty good for him. So we'll leave that. Alaska, we're going to keep neutral for now. Arizona would be blue. He's at 44. Arkansas, red. I'm going, obviously alphabetical order. California, Colorado, Connecticut. Oops, Colorado should be blue. Delaware, he actually improved in Delaware, which is interesting, but it's still blue. DC is obviously his lowest, and that's not even worth mentioning. It's always going to be blue. Florida and Georgia, we're going to leave toss up for now. Hawaii, blue. Idaho, dark red. Illinois, there's no surprises here yet, except for Arizona, I would think. Indiana, red. Iowa, I find a surprise. He's at 41. That's not good. Kansas, we'll leave it just according to my rules because he's under 50. Kentucky, Louisiana, then Maine would be blue. The second district, though, we'll discuss. For now, I'll mark it empty. Okay, keep going. So Maryland, no surprises here. Massachusetts, oops. And then now Michigan and Minnesota, he's at 40 in Michigan, and he's at 39 in Minnesota. So again, this doesn't look good for him. To go in Mississippi looks good for him. That's not a surprise at all. But now these three, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, he's all under 50%. So we're going to leave him for now. We'll talk about them later, what's going to happen and what numbers I've crunched to make my guess. So these blue, look at New Hampshire, 39. New Hampshire, New Jersey are the same. So New Hampshire is not as toss-uppy as you would think. Again, this is not the most efficient way, but it's fine. North Carolina, we're going to leave empty for now. Obviously, North Dakota. It's funny that it's only 50, though. Ohio, I find interesting, is at 45. Again, that's my kind of random number. We're going to play with that later once I get through every state. Same with, Pennsylvania, 43. It's pretty low. Rhode Island, they got South Dakota. It's okay, I did them out of order. Tennessee, no surprises here. Texas, 48. Utah, this is, sorry, I have to mark it that way. I can't put my opinion in it. We're just looking at numbers right now. It's at 45. And you can see we're already at, 270 for the Democrat, whoever it would be, assuming it's not someone people don't like. And I just totally skipped Oregon. Sorry about that. And then we got West Virginia. There's no surprise. Either is Wyoming. And then the other one I missed was Wisconsin. It's at 40. So not looking great for him there either. Okay, now with the other states, here's what I would do to predict the rest of these and maybe change some of the ones I have marked, is looking at how he did in look at Alaska, 48, I'm looking at 2016. So he did over 50%. If you average in his polling from Morning Consult with his results from 2016, then it would be red. It would be at 49. And the average, is that the best way to do things? I think it's pretty effective because trends are a thing. So these would be red. The next one to look at Iowa, actually, since he did so well last time, I would almost say Iowa would still go red. Kansas, obviously, that's, I don't know if that's a polling glitch or something. And these other ones we talked about here, Missouri, Montana, and Nebraska, even the Nebraska too. Assuming 48% statewide, that is on the fence, but that's just one vote. I don't think it's going to make or break it. North Carolina would be red. And then other ones we look like Ohio. If we average it in, I don't think Ohio is going to be low. I would change that to light red. Pennsylvania would be the big toss-up, and we're gonna take that off for now. So again, we're averaging it in. Same with Texas, like this, and oh yeah, Maine 2 would still be red. He did pretty well there. So even with Pennsylvania, I mean, well, like let's take Pennsylvania off for 1 second here. Let's go to the other one that was strange, was Utah. I don't see that happening. But look at this we have right here. Look at that result. It's a tie. And I'm making some assumptions, and the polling is close, but I don't really think Pennsylvania would be red when Michigan and Wisconsin, Minnesota are, Michigan and Wisconsin specifically are blue. They kind of vote similarly, I would think, again, depending on the candidate. So it might be an eke out win for whoever the Democrat is. So thoughts. I'd like to know people's thoughts. I do this for fun as a hobby, and I just want to communicate with some people about this. I think it's interesting. So please like and subscribe.